Alright everyone, well, as you saw in my last review for Incredibles 2, I said to be continued in another movie review. You know what that means. Yep, time to review the newest Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Alright, well, as you know, I anticipated this movie because I did enjoy the last movie, Jurassic World. It's not as good as the first one. I mean, the first film is a groundbreaking Spielberg blockbuster hit. It pushed the boundaries of special effects and made dinosaurs look awesome. It got 2 sequels, which anybody can argue which one is better than the other, but both are pretty average. I will say the second one's probably a little bit better than the third one. I mean, the third one doesn't have a lot to offer with characters, and the special effects aren't as good. It's entertaining, don't get me wrong. I thought the Spinosaurus was kind of cool, but it's just weaker. It's got the weakest script, and characters are a little annoying. So, yeah. But nothing could ever top the first one. And I didn't expect this one to either, and thankfully I was totally right, because I had the right expectations. This one has been gaining, well, rather mixed reactions with critics and fans. A lot are saying it's not as good as the first, which I will agree with. I mean, you know, the first Jurassic World movie to be exact. Because, yeah, it's not as good as the first one. It tries to be groundbreaking. You know, you have new characters, but it does pay attention to the original films. It has great homages to the original film, like guy wearing a t-shirt that's from the original Jurassic Park, the fact that it's on the original island, and when they come across the abandoned site from the first movie. I thought that was a great little homage there, right? Nice little revisiting to my childhood. It's like time never passed right there. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, some of the effects were a bit CGI-ish, but most of the time I felt it was really entertaining, you know? I thought the new Indominus Rex dinosaur was, well, maybe not the best design, but it had lot of great action, you know, and especially the last grand finale between him and the Raptors and the T-Rex and everything like that. It was good old-fashioned, good entertainment right there. It made dinosaurs awesome again. Sure, John Williams didn't come back and do the music in Jurassic World, and he didn't in this film as well. It's the same musician artist. And as well as Spielberg not coming back to direct, not to mention, a different director than the last movie. Spielberg only acting as producer once again, so let's get to this film. Obviously, as you know, it takes place 3 years after the last movie. Well, because it's, well, been 3 years since the last movie. It's 2018, and the last one came out in 2015. The island has been abandoned because of ever since the disaster. The dinosaurs are loose, and of course, the island is built on a volcano which is about to erupt and cause the dinosaurs to pretty much go extinct forever. There's lots of debates on the news, and everybody's trying to debate whether they should save the dinosaurs. And of course, yes, Jeff Goldblum makes a return, but only for a brief cameo in the beginning and the end. Okay, keep in mind there's going to be some minor to minor spoilers. I'm not going to go too heavy on them. But yes, he makes a return in this movie at the beginning and the end of the movie, giving his usual speeches like, you know, time, you know, moves on and all that. Like, you know, dinosaurs were here first, they had their chance. It's not much different, you know, he's basically the same character, obviously, as he was in the original 2 films. You know, he gives all those, like, science-y stuff about how it was a bad idea bringing dinosaurs back and how we should just let them go extinct. But, of course, this other group, run by, obviously, the same character from the last movie, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and, of course, yes, Chris Pratt comes back. So, yes, those are, like, the main 2 characters from the last movie, and they reprise their role for the main part of the film. Of course, you have other main characters that you didn't see in the last film, that are associated with John Hammond, obviously Richard Attenborough's character, may he rest in peace, obviously. But, you know, they come up with kind of a similar idea as Lost World, Jurassic Park, and strangely enough, this film is loosely reminiscent of that film. The fact that they're trying to get the dinosaurs off the island before they, you know, the island erupts, or at least whatever they can to preserve their species. And to do so within the nick of time. So it does build up a lot of suspense with the island erupting, you know, lava flowing, and, well, the army's there trying to get the dinosaurs, but they're not as they seem. They're obviously double-crossing them to, you know, because they have other plans, not to bring the dinosaurs to a sanctuary island with no fences or anything like that. As I said, reminiscent a little bit of the Lost World Jurassic Park. They have other plans to bring him back to this rich guy's estate, who, as I said, was associated with John Hammond. And the guy is almost like him, you know, he's an old guy, and he's, you know, kind of on his deathbed a little bit. But, of course, he has a son who's, you know, they're all corrupt, and they're trying to have other plans for the dinosaurs, not to follow in his footsteps, but to, well, as you guessed, sell them off and become rich and greedy. So, yeah, that's your typical cliche villain right there. And you can obviously predict what's going to happen, but I'm not going to give too much away. But as I said, you can pretty much predict it right there. They bring the dinosaurs to the mainland, and yeah, obviously Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's characters stow away and try to obviously stop them. So it's an adventure within itself, and you got some other characters that follow them along to try to help them, and it could be a lot more to it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of suspense. It's an entertaining movie by all means. You know, you got a lot of the dinosaurs. You got, you know, Blue the Raptor from the last movie, who's obviously Chris Pratt's main pet in the film. You know, he's grown attached to that raptor. You got the T-Rex. You got all the main herbivores and everything like that. And yeah, it's entertaining. You know, you got they take a ride in the gyrosphere, which is a good ride. And yes, I did actually see this movie in IMAX 3D, which I don't highly recommend, but it definitely adds more depth to the picture and everything like that. And, well, yeah, it was entertaining, but it's not as good as the last one, as I said. You're probably asking for a lot more. The effects on the dinosaurs are pretty good. I could tell they use a little more animatronic effects, but then again, you can tell when they use CG unnecessarily. So, as I said, they go back to the estate, and that's pretty much where it goes from there. It doesn't really go anywhere else. Most of the time, that's where they are. You know, and they got the granddaughter, or you think is the granddaughter, but I'm not going to give too much away about that character. And, you know, she's the typical child. So, yeah, pretty much every Jurassic Park movie has to have a child in this film. I mean, that seems to be the thing with these films. You always got to have one that's got to be the typical screamer or something. You know, you always got to have your annoying character, or seemingly annoying character to be exact. And yeah, it's a lot of chase scenes, a lot of action. You got a lot of dinosaurs, and of course a new one, as you'd expect, the Indoraptor. And, well, not to give too much away, yeah, it's some good suspense, some good entertainment. But as I said, not as good as the last one. It could have had a little more in it. So, yeah, it can become a little bit predictable for the most part. And not to mention, it hints a sequel that is yet to come. And of course 2021, and you know it's going to happen because this movie already grossed a godly amount of money. So, I mean, we all want to see dinosaurs, right? Don't we? And yes, there actually is a scene after the credits. I wish they really could have put it in the middle of the credits, not at the very, you know, after the credits, because they are a bit long. And not to give too much away, yeah, you can see it for yourself if you're curious enough. There's not really much to it, but that's all I can say. It's an okay sequel. You know, it's decent, it's entertaining, it's got a lot of dinosaurs, but if you're looking for something groundbreaking like the original, you're going to be a little disappointed. It runs a little over 2 hours, which I didn't feel was very long, but yeah, that's the case right there. It's a typical sequel, not as good as the first, but still pretty entertaining. Decent enough. So, my final verdict is just a 0.2 ear motes up on this one. It was good. Not great. So, till next time, keep watching.